All right, let's dive into a story that has echoed through the centuries. It's a short but incredibly powerful journey, one that really makes you think about what sacrifice and forgiveness truly mean. It's called The Way of the Cross, and, its message feels just as relevant today as it ever has.
But what's really at the heart of this? Well, it's not just a history lesson. Think of it more like a mirror. It reflects these extreme examples of love and sacrifice, and in doing so, it kind of asks us to look at ourselves and wonder, what am I capable of?
So, where does our story kick off? It starts at a moment of just profound injustice. There's a man, Yeshu Masih, completely innocent, and he's just been condemned.
Just try to imagine the weight of that sentence. And I mean that literally and figuratively. See, he wasn't just told he was going to die. No, he was forced to carry the very thing that would be used to kill him. And this journey, this agonizing walk, hauling that heavy wooden cross to a hill called Golgotha, that's where things really get underway.
But that sentence, that was just the start of it. Now came the actual path, this grueling, brutal walk just filled with unbelievable physical and emotional pain.
And the suffering, wow, it was coming from all sides. I mean, you've got the pure exhaustion from this long, hard walk, but on top of that, he's wearing this crown of thorns, literally digging into his skin. And then, all around him, a crowd just mocking him, which adds this whole layer of mental anguish to the physical pain. It was a total assault on both his body and his spirit.
Under the crushing weight of that cross, he actually fell. Not just once, but 3 separate times. And you can imagine, each time he fell, he was weaker than the last. But here's the incredible part. After every single fall, he somehow found the strength to get back up and keep going. That just shows this incredible determination, right? A determination that was clearly fueled by something much bigger than his own suffering.
But it wasn't all just cruelty and pain. Amidst everything that was happening, there were these little flashes of humanity. 2 really important encounters, actually, that add a whole other emotional layer to this journey.
So, the first one was with his mother, Miriam. Can you even imagine that moment? Seeing her sorrow, it must have been absolutely heartbreaking. It just piled this heavy emotional weight on top of all the physical pain. And yet, even then, he didn't waver. He didn't lose his courage. He just kept going. And the second encounter? Well, this happened when he was at his absolute limit. I mean, completely and totally exhausted. A man in the crowd, a total stranger named Simon, was basically forced to step in and help him carry that cross. It's such a small act in the grand scheme of things, but what a powerful moment, right? A bit of unexpected help in just a sea of hostility.
And so that brings us to the climax of this journey. He finally reaches Golgotha, and he's facing the execution itself. But it's not just what happens to him, it's what he does in this moment that really defines the entire story.
So he's nailed to the cross. He's in a state of unimaginable pain. And in that moment, he doesn't curse the people who did this to him. He doesn't scream for revenge. Instead, he prays.
And what was his prayer? Father, forgive them, for they know not what they are doing. Wow. I mean, that is the absolute heart of this story. It's this act of just radical forgiveness offered right at the peak of his own suffering. That one sentence changes everything.
So after all of that, what's the ultimate lesson from this agonizing journey? Because this story isn't just about something that happened a long time ago. It's meant to be a timeless message for every single one of us.
And when you break it down, the lessons are pretty clear, and they're really profound. First, you have true love, not just talked about, but shown through action. Then there's forgiveness, given freely to the very people causing the pain. And finally, you have the ultimate sacrifice, putting the well-being of others first, no matter what it costs you personally.
And that really all boils down to one central idea, that any step you take for the good of someone else, no matter how hard or painful it is never forgotten. It creates a kind of legacy that lasts. It becomes immortal.
So in the end, this whole story kind of turns the focus away from the past and points it right back at us, right here in the present. It leaves us with a question, one that goes way beyond this one narrative. And that question is, what is the power of forgiveness? Not just in some old story, but right now, today, in your life.